We live in a world these days full of chemicals and toxins and pesticides and, over-the-counter medications, all of these things that we've all been exposed to in our life. And these things have an effect on your mental clarity and your ability to see and make decisions. And they can prevent your spiritual development and enhancement.
So imagine clearing all of that out of your body and unlocking this mental mass or this cloud in front of your ability to perceive and see, and then try to achieve your goals. It's a lot different.
The Purification Program basically consists of vitamins, running, and a detox in a sauna. And you are literally sweating out those drugs and toxins that are lodged in your body that have been there for a long time. But after you do that, you can really see things from a different perspective.
I was raised on the streets of Los Angeles where, unfortunately, drug abuse runs rampant. I started to realize that I was living my life in a fog. I was surrounded by a haze. That was when I told myself that something needs to change. Once I was able to get rid of all of the toxins in my life from all the drugs that I had put in my body over the past years, then it kind of opened up my eyes to a whole new world. And ultimately, that put me back in control. There was a moment where I was in the sauna and I was using the rag to wipe my face, and I had noticed that the rag had smelled like marijuana. I hadn't put any marijuana into my system in well over 3 years. That was when I started to notice how intense and how important the purification rundown is. And upon finishing the purification, it felt like I had literally walked out of a cloud, like I was walking through a storm. And I was free. In all aspects of the word, I was free. The things that I do with my son today, the joy that I get just from being present, it's a lot more gratifying than any drug on this planet could ever compare to.
One of the most amazing things I've ever done was definitely receive auditing at the church.
Auditing is Scientology's spiritual counseling. People try to ask how it is in comparison to other mental philosophies, and it doesn't compare. It's very unique. It's not like therapy. It's the very exact procedure that addresses specific areas of emotional and spiritual ruin with the precise path of increased awareness and abilities, which ultimately brings a person to higher states of existence and true personal freedom. That's the spiritual technology, and it's called spiritual technology because you're applying that technology to somebody as a spiritual being.
Everyone at some point knows that they're capable of more, or they know that they used to be capable of more. Well, it didn't go anywhere, it's still there. At every step of the way, you're learning more about yourself and unlocking your full capabilities.
You actually see that person change quite dramatically because you're directly helping somebody be more able.
There were definitely periods in my life, or definitely times when something would happen and I'd be like, why did I do that? Or why am I reacting this way? Why am I so emotional about this thing that really isn't that big of a deal? And then through auditing, I kind of was stripping away all of these other things that made me react a certain way that wasn't really myself. All the negative things going on in my mind just stopped. Literally tears were just coming out of my eyes. Like I couldn't stop. I was like, what's happening? I was so happy. From that point on, life was simple, I can decide what I want to do with my life and then pursue that.
What I would say to people is that Scientology is a technology, the way that building a bridge is technology.
So what this is called an e-meter. So the way this works is that the e-meter is passing a really small current through this cable and into these electrodes, and it goes from the person to the e-meter again, and what that does is create a closed electrical circuit. You don't even feel it.
All mental pictures are actually composed of mental energy, and there is an actual electrical energy connected to those pictures. So when the auditor asks precisely worded questions, it disrupts the electrical current, so that then registers on the e-meter.
I mean, think about it. If you knew the source of all of your troubles, would you have problems? No, we would probably be able to get rid of them pretty easily, but the e-meter helps pinpoint that.
You can actually go into any church and someone can show you how it works exactly.
There you go.
That's so cool.
It's not just people coming to receive auditing, it's people actually coming to get trained as auditors, because once they receive it, they're like, I want to do this for other people.
You really get a good understanding of what it is, what it does, how it works. Any questions get answered.
As an auditor, I have the tools to help someone very effectively and change their lives, help their family, completely change their condition in life. I had a guy, able person, good guy, but he just didn't have a job and he was really apathetic, really down in the dumps. And we did a certain type of auditing with him, and flash forward a few months and he's now got this great job. He looked about 5 or 10 years younger after doing that program. So you see these sort of miraculous changes, you almost just expect to have a miracle happen with every person that you help. It's really like that.
Up next, from the California wildfires to the global drug epidemic, the church's volunteers bring effective humanitarian aid.